You're entering VTV's Chamber Zone. Your business community at work. Representing the Vernal Area and Duchesne County Chambers of Commerce, here's Adam Massey and Irene Hansen.
Hello, I'm Adam Massey of the Vernal Area Chamber of Commerce, and with me today is Cheryl Meyer with the reigning, I should say, Trees for Charity Chairman. And Cheryl, welcome. It's great to have you with us today.
It's wonderful to be here, Adam. Thank you.
You know what? We're getting into that joyous time of the year again when Trees for Charity comes up. And as you and I were talking a little bit beforehand, I think sometimes we take it for granted that everybody knows what Trees for Charity is. Maybe why don't you just take, as we get a lot of new people in our area, sometimes maybe not everybody knows. Why don't you just take a minute and tell us a little bit about what Trees for Charity is and what it does.
Okay. Trees for Charity is just kind of how it sounds. We are, as a community, have come together and we decorate Christmas trees. Each tree is sponsored by a different person. They're decorated to the hilt, not like we decorate our trees at home.
No Charlie Browns.
No Charlie Brown trees. They are decorated from top to bottom. Then we had come and they have them auctioned off the Monday after Thanksgiving, and they're auctioned off to the public. They have to buy a ticket to come in, and they're auctioned off for sometimes thousands and thousands of dollars. The really neat thing about Trees for Charity is that each sponsor gets to pick their own charity that they would like to donate the proceeds to. And so all that money goes directly to the individual that they have chosen, and they range from all different charities throughout the Uinta Basin. And so that is wonderful in itself, and I can't tell you how many people Trees for Charity actually helps, and especially at this time of year is really, really important to some people.
As we were visiting a little bit before, I think this is the 15th year for Trees for Charity.
Yeah.
So it's been going on for a while.
It has.
And it's, it's become a part, it's kind of like holidays in our community. Trees for Charity is just part of our community now. It's what we do. I know the Chamber is proud to be involved with that. I know the 3.5, 4 years that I've been here at Chamber, it's been neat to be able to see all those people be helped. And like you say, most of the money stays here locally. It does help charities and families, different people that are in need. And what a great event to kick off the holiday season with. We just wanted to give a little brief kind of reminder to everybody in case there are some out there that didn't know what Trees for Charity was or what it did. And, we're great to have it again. Let's talk about some specifics. Trees for Charity, let's go over some dates this year that it's going to be so people can be looking forward to that.
Okay, Trees for Charity every year, the sponsors that have donated the trees, they are decorating the trees the day before Thanksgiving, which is on a Wednesday, and this year it is November 27th. So we have all day that we decorate those trees. Thanksgiving we have off with our family, and then come the 29th and the 30th of November, it's open to the public. They walk through and it's free. On Friday the 29th, we go hand in hand with holidays, and so while there's activities with holidays, Trees for Charity is open at the Western Park, and they come through and they get to see all the wonderful charities that they're benefiting. They get to see the beautiful trees, and they also get a vote on their favorite tree, which is really cool because they get an award that if the tree who wins. So and then the Monday, December 2nd this year is the night that we auction them off. And then of course the auction's done and then we deliver them the next day. But this year, we normally have done it on Sunday. This year we are not doing it on Sunday. We're going to have that time to spend with our families.
Fantastic.
But so for the 29th and 30th, it's open to the public.
Okay, November 29th and 30th will be the tree preview days.
Yes.
And then the auction on
May 2nd.
May 2nd, or December 2nd.
Yeah, May, what?
December 2nd.
December
okay,
2nd.
Perfect. So we want to make sure everybody gets those dates. And I got a little bit ahead of myself. Maybe we ought to talk a little bit about, there has been some, we have the applications for those that would like to come down and pick those up at the Vernal Area Chamber of Commerce. As of the airing of this show, I shouldn't say the airing, as of the taping of this show, we're doing 60 trees this year. So we've bumped it up from 50 to 60. We're going to be doing 10 extra. And so but we'd like everybody to come down and get an application. You will need to know which charity you're going to be benefiting,
Yes.
and you have to have those applications completely filled out before we can give you a spot. And I know as of the airing of this show, 30 of them are gone, so we've got 30 left. And you can also do silent auction items that will be set up there also. And Cheryl, I know the committee has put some limits on how many charities you can benefit as far as the trees. Maybe talk about that just a minute, and then maybe go over also the silent auction items on what you can do there.
Okay, so this year, since there are so many deserving charities in our community, we want to be able to give them as much support as we can. So this year we're limiting them to 2 trees per charity, which we hope that we can spread the holiday giving out that way. But then also the silent auctions, they are unlimited. So if your charity that you want to do is already have 2 trees, put in some silent auctions, and we'll go from there.
Fantastic. And the configuration is going to be a little bit different. We had to move a few things, I guess, to get all 60 trees in there. That is a pretty, that is a lot of trees. And so the silent auction items, instead of, if people that have been there before, instead of being on the, I guess would be the north end, the silent auction items will actually sit in the middle between trees, in the Trees for Charity. So when people come in, they'll be able to bid on those and check those out also.
Yes. Those will end Saturday at 3. So you want to make sure that you know that. They normally have ended during the auction. We want to make sure that everybody knows that they end Saturday at 3. That'll get people in there. If you want something, if you know you bid on it, get in there and hang out and hope you win it.
Well, that sounds great. We'll be right back in just a minute, to speak more about Trees for Charity and some of the community events as well as events that the Chamber has going on. So we'll be right back. Thank you.
Almost 45% of the oil produced in Utah, 7.8 million barrels, comes from Duchesne County. That oil feeds our state economy, provides job growth, and supports local business. Here in Duchesne County, we're working to make Utah an economic, cultural, and technological leader. Whether you're here for business or pleasure, Duchesne County will welcome you with open arms and invite you to explore all the beauty of the Uinta Mountains. Duchesne County, close enough for business, far enough to get away.
Welcome back to Chamber Zone, your business community at work. This week, instead of talking about our business community at work, we're highlighting one of the Chamber events. And that event that we've chosen to highlight is Trees for Charity. It's one that the Chamber's been proud to be a part of for a long time. And Cheryl, as you and I were talking about before, you know, when we talk about Trees for Charity and we talk about the trees, one thing that we wanted to talk about was you know, people are very passionate about their charities. Obviously, most people that do a tree for Trees for Charity, it's touched whatever that charity is or whatever that whatever they're wanting to raise money for has touched their lives in some way. And sometimes we talk about getting them to bring their own buyer, and maybe touch on that a little bit as we talk about that.
Okay, so you know, with Trees for Charity, like you said, the reason you're doing and have picked a charity, you're so passionate about that charity, and it means something to you, and you know about it, and you've researched it, and you understand it. You know, when we say bring your own buyer, and which we encourage a lot of the sponsors and the donors to do, is that the community's not aware of a lot of these charities. You know, when I flip through the applications, there's people and there's organizations that I've never even heard of that are all needy causes that if, as a sponsor, as a tree builder, if you go out into the community and talk to everybody you know and get the word out there, let them know how passionate you are about your charity, and ask them to come and support your tree and to support yourself, them, and to donate to these charities. Pull at the heartstrings a little bit in the sense of, like I said, they don't know your charity and they don't know what it's about, but if they do, they're more willing to open up their wallets. And that's really what this comes down to, is that we want people to be aware of these charities, but we want to raise as much money as we can for these individuals and these organizations. And so when you hear bring your own buyer, find somebody that's willing to buy your tree, and then if there's a bidding war, that's even better.
You know, it's really interesting, and we've talked about this before. You know, a lot of times we'll have beautiful trees that maybe don't sell for quite as much, but you'll have some trees that maybe we would say aren't quite as pretty as others, but it's really the charity, it's really the cause. When people have been affected personally, they get behind these causes or the charities, and you know, they're very passionate about them. And so if they can go and get people to come out and support that and know about it, just like you've said, that's where we really see their charities do well. And so, as you've said, we encourage people to bring their own buyers and let them have a knowledge. And a lot of times the trees, there's many people there that want to buy them, and they'll get bought, donated back, and resold again, which raises a lot of money for those charities and for those families. And so that's fantastic. One other thing we were talking about a little bit beforehand too is, you know, the great community support, the sponsors that we have with Trees for Charity that you've been able to get over the years. I know this year we really had Anadarko has stepped up and is paying for the dinner. And I believe that's the first time that that's happened in our area. And we're so excited and we're so appreciative of Anadarko doing that. That's a huge, you know, it just allows that much more to be given to charity. The tickets that will be sold now, you know, maybe don't look at it as a dinner ticket, but look at it as an opportunity to purchase your way into an auction to buy a tree, and that's really what it is. And maybe touch on that just a little bit.
Well, and as a committee, like all the money that we get above and beyond our costs, we have donated in the past to Turning Point Shelter, whether we do that particular charity this year or not, but we take every single dime that we have left over and we deliver it to a charity that the committee has chosen. And so that's why, like for us, we are so excited to be able to have our dinner sponsored, because that is so much extra money that we are able to give to a charity. So we are super excited about that this year, and so grateful for the support. And like you said about the community support, I have never seen a community, I mean, obviously this is the only community I've been in, but I can't think of another community that pulls together like ours does, and the businesses and the people. They really pull together and show their love and support for people they don't even know. So
it is. It's fantastic, and there's many other supporters that, you know, are advanced members, sponsors at the Chamber. Part of that goes towards Trees for Charity and allows us to do what we do at Chamber, because like you said, nobody is paid for anything that they do there. All the money passes through and goes to those charities, and that's what it's all about, is making sure they get the most amount of money that they can get for those organizations or families. And you know, it's a fantastic event. Let's talk about, I know last year was a record year. I believe 190,000,
yes,
that's correct?
With our tree toppers, which I'll talk to you about our tree toppers, with everything that we had the night of the auction, the silent auction, the tree toppers, we did hit over 200,000.
That's fantastic.
So I really hope that this year, I mean, 200,000 is nothing to blink an eye at, but it's amazing. I want to go
it's just
above
continue to
and
grow
beyond that this year. And one thing that you can do this, as every year, but this year I want to touch on it a little bit, is our tree toppers. A lot of people can't afford one of these trees, and that's just fine. You can help by donating any amount of money to any of the trees. It can be a cash check. All that money goes directly to that organization, and you can do that during the walkthrough. Just to tell you a little story, when I opened these envelopes, it's really humbling. I had one envelope that had some change and $2 in it and some change, and on the outside of the envelope it said, "I wish I had more to give." And so to me, that's amazing, because it's amazing. And so to see that type of support is wonderful.
It is. That's a very humbling experience, like you said. And so you can, you know, with the tree toppers, you're able to donate if you don't feel like you have the money to buy a tree, but you're still able to support that charity or that family. So please come out. You can help support it that way. There's many ways you can participate. Well, we're out of time. That's it for Chamber Zone this time. We appreciate you being with us. Thank you so much. If you can, get out and support Trees for Charity. It's a great organization, and it supports the locals in our area, and we appreciate it. Until next time, thank you.